What up, this is Rama Screen covering movies, TV, and entertainment, and here's my review of Spider-Man Far From Home. Hey, before you watch this review, please subscribe to my channel and press that like button and ring that bell so you can get notified whenever I post new videos. And if you would like to help support this channel, please do so at patreon.com/ramascreen. That's patreon.com/ramascreen. Let's rock this. I actually enjoyed this movie more than I thought I would. It certainly has its super fun, your usual Spidey thrilling moments. The visual spectacle and the cinematography are worth the ticket money, but that is expected of a Marvel movie. That said, Spider-Man Far From Home has its flaws though. Its many flaws, which I will elaborate further in this review. But definitely I would say that Jake Gyllenhaal is the best, most decent part about Spider-Man Far From Home. So even if you don't like this movie overall, I think you would agree with me that Jake is the one that saves it from becoming potentially worse. Director Jon Watts of Spider-Man Homecoming is back, helming this sequel, which once again features Tom Holland as Spidey and Zendaya as MJ, co-starring Samuel L. Jackson as Nick Fury and Jake Gyllenhaal as Mysterio. The story is set after the events of Avengers Endgame. Peter Parker and his classmates go on a Euro trip vacation where Peter Parker plans to tell MJ how he feels, but that plan gets interrupted by an impending threat that supposedly comes from another alternate universe. Okay, let's start with some of the positives. If by this point Tom Holland still hasn't convinced you that he is the perfect Spidey, way better than Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield ever could, then I don't know what will. Tom doesn't only capture the agility, but also plays the awkwardness and sarcasm really well. Although the story for this one kinda dampens that last part down a bit and really forces Tom to tap into more of his dramatic side as Peter struggles to come to terms with the absence of his mentor, Tony Stark. By the way, may I just say that if there is an Oscar category for Best Friend in a Movie, that award should go to actor Jacob Batalon. I hope I pronounced that last name correctly. Especially in this sequel, with his character Ned being given a love interest. Some of his sort of random comments, either about relationship or about supporting Peter, are both funny and noteworthy. Which leads us to the not so great parts about Spider-Man Far From Home. Some of the action set pieces are a mess, especially the third act where it just looks like it's all over the place. Now, Mysterio in the comic books is an expert of special effects and illusion. That part is not a spoiler. It's in the comic books. That is what this character is about. So I give this movie credit for staying true to that. But without risking sharing any further details here, let me just say that because of that aspect, the movie overplays that card too much, to the point where I think audiences will have a hard time tracking the illusion as opposed to being impressed by it. Another weak link, in my opinion, is how this movie jams the MJ and Peter's romance / high school crush fling down our throats. That whole part is so poorly written, it's very cringy. But that whole part feels like the writers are just slapping a label onto a bottle without double checking what it says on it. Listen, I want MJ and Peter to be a couple just as much as the next guy, but it could happen in a more well thought out way than this. And the other thing is, with the exception of Ned, the humor is mostly off in this film. Just like how they overplay the illusion, they overplay Martin Starr and Tony Revolori and Jon Favreau. Their whole bit of a gullible teacher and a rich jerk and a middle-aged man having a crush on Spidey's aunt gets real old real fast. Which leads me to my last part, the saving grace, aka Jake Gyllenhaal. I don't know about you, but I love it whenever Jake goes maniacal in any movie. Some people just have the faces that are meant to be on the big screen. And to me, Jake is one of those people, where even if his performance as Mysterio can get a bit over the top, he still comes off captivating. Overall, to conclude, I understand why this specific story fits into this timeline considering what took place in Avengers Endgame. But as a film in its entirety, Spider-Man Far From Home falls into the same mistake that many sequels suffer from, in that it tries to take on so many things, resulting in it not having a solid grip of those things.